Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and we got a list of 16 properties. It's a nice sized list, and confirmed from Colin Best, the person who bought the builder lots or the builder developer who bought those lots is actually putting an application in for townhouses. So it's not the place of worship that everyone thinks it is. And it's funny, the rumor mill. I mean, at one point, Craig Kilberger's school, people thought that was a Costco, which made me laugh. But the rumor mill is just so funny. So anyways, if you're going to be in town, join us for a tour of homes. Great way to gather information. It's not necessarily about finding the home you want to put an offer on. It's about really deciding and figuring out what your price range gets you, what kind of home layouts you like. That kind of stuff is very, very important as you're gathering information in the process. When's the best time to do it? We've had people that have come out 6 to 12 months before they want to buy, and they've gotten a lot of value. And you go back to the computer and you'll start to see things much differently. It's a great use of time. So typically about 4 or 5 homes in a 2-hour time period. We try and keep it as specific as possible to the people on the tour. For example, if you're looking at luxury homes, there's no point looking at condos on your tour. We want to keep it as relevant as possible. So just sign up over there. There's a bunch of times during the week when we do them. And I think it's an excellent opportunity. And nobody, here's the thing, is most agents that I know are not interested until you're ready to go. We don't work like that. We believe in keeping you safe and helping you get the right information as soon as possible. Now let's get started with today's list. 919 Deverell's the first one. 319 is the price. It's an Ashfield or a Cherry Hill. And so the thing about these models, there was a bunch of them that all were listed around the same time. And this one here, they've got California shutters, they've got some hardwood floors, but the point is that they all sort of had a little battle, and so it had a bit of a downward pressure on prices. And this one definitely has some nice stuff in it. It's not that far off. It's just a question of, based on the competition and the recent sales, is it something where they're going to get closer to 319 or maybe be dragged down a little bit by what else is out there. So either way, it looks like a good home though. Deverell's a pretty quiet street and a good location. We've got one on Vanier here at 379. And so it is, I don't think it's linked by the foundation. This is the bungalow that's for sale. It's about 900 square feet, but this home itself, it's got some nice finishes. The crown moldings, the floors have been replaced. The kitchen's a little bit older, but it's neutral. And the flooring upstairs, they've done some work on the bathroom and so on. So what do you expect at 379 for basically a detached home? Not a massive lot, but it's generally pretty good. You've got a bit of a slope up here, so it tends to have a higher fence, which means a little bit more privacy. But this is really, actually, the entry point for some of the ones that aren't even as good is around 380. So you're getting some bonus finishes, at least in my eyes on here. Newell is 389. It's a semi-detached, and it's hard to find semis around this price anymore. So you've got a little area here. This is where the stairs are, and you've got a little kind of a useless bench. No one's actually going to sit there for anything unless it's just taking your shoes off. It might be a place there where you can put the kids' stuff on. But kitchen, it's closed concept. So there's a wall on this side that on the other side is the actual family room. This is basically adjacent to the kitchen. And then that's the area in the back of the house. And there's a bunch of the models today that have shown that. A lot of furniture in here. I mean, you look at that seems cluttered because the space just isn't very... It's tight there, and taking the stool away, taking the garbage, taking this right here would make a big difference, I think, to the feel of space. And there you go. So 389 still seems like a pretty good deal. We've seen this model list before, and it's done pretty well. The bedrooms upstairs are actually pretty good size, despite how they look in the photos. Houston is 399, and so you've got that same kind of effect. You've got a kitchen with the table adjacent to it. So there you go, there's that, and then you can see the family room is basically in the back of the house. Not really a layout we see often, but for some reason a lot of today's homes have that. This one has a finished basement, and I think a good idea would have been to certainly showcase that in the photos. Governor's Court is 434.9, and so it's on a 55 by 115 lot. It's right in Dorset Park, which is a very hot neighborhood right now, and this is really entry point for this neighborhood. So 434.9. Wow, looks great. Renovated kitchen according to the description. Now we all know what that can mean. There's varying levels of renovated. Laminate floor. The master has parquet, but then the other bedrooms have laminate floors. So usually the mix of flooring generally doesn't mean good things to me, but you can see what happens here. And I would say once the photos come up is either way, I don't think this one's going to last just because of the price point. This one on Featherstone is at 454.8, and so we've got a interesting color choice. You've got a double wide driveway, and you've got some hardwood floors in here. It's basically just one room in the front, and then you've got a kitchen with an eat-in. Looks a little bit small. There's a lot of stuff in this home that they really could have taken out. Very simple things to do, and it's not that complicated, but some people just aren't willing to. Even if you've got space in the basement, throw it in there, throw it in the garage, throw it anywhere you can, get a pod. And so the yard actually looks like a pretty good size, about 105 feet. Not everybody's into the above ground pool, so that's something where most owners who have these kind of properties, what they do is they put a little message in the description and it says owner will take out the above ground pool. Now they've really tried to paint a nice picture. Natural gas barbecue, summer, fantastic sun-filled summer day. Cool, if that resonates with the right person, but from my experience about 90% of people are not into the above ground pool. So it's one of those things where it's good to just let them know that there's options that you will take it out if necessary. So Black Drive is 454.9. Semi-detached, you're talking about finished basement on this one here. Kitchen looks a little bit small. I just look and say 450s. It seems like a lot of money for something like this. It's not on the part of Black that backs onto Thompson. It's in another region. It's on the south curve of that street. Cedar Hedge is 459. It's a Pilgrim model, 1742 square feet. Typically, people try and widen the driveway here, which it looks like they may have done. You might be able to sneak two cars side by side. Don't know if I love the purple color on the outside. Hardwood floors. You've got a carpet runner on top of carpet, which is a fascinating choice to me. Complaint on this model typically is there's not a lot of space for the eat-in in the kitchen. But it's a pretty open concept floor plan, and you've got 4 bedrooms upstairs. There's also a 3-bedroom with a good-sized laundry for these kinds of homes. So there'll be some homes built across the street for this home, but right now it's actually pretty peaceful and quiet. Now, not a lot of move-in ready, awesome-looking homes in today's list until we hit this one on Wedham, and it looks terrific. So a bit of landscaping on the outside. It's a Southbury. It's 1987 square feet, dark hardwood stairs. You've got a separate living room in the front, and you can see the design elements here. These guys have really taken amazing care of this home. Nice colored hardwood floors. They've got the chef's kitchen. So you've got your pass-through window right there. And then you see the kitchen with the granite counters, the backsplash, the undermounted sink, and all the rest of it. Really nice space for entertaining. You can fit 4 people in chairs here. You've got a family room. They've got a backyard with nice pergola and everything else. The landscaping's all been done. So this one is without a doubt move-in ready, clean, meticulously kept. And 465 is a little bit higher than what we see these typically sell for, but this one is a notch above in terms of the finishes and the quality. So very, very nice home. Milton Brook is 491.9, and so it's a semi-detached. It's less than 2,000 square feet, probably similar to the size on the previous one, but what you're getting is a much larger lot. But then you have to pay for appliances, window coverings, all the stuff that. So there's a hidden probably $10,000 that you'd have to work with, right? Air conditioning. There's no air conditioning. It's another cost. Fencing. Landscaping, all those kind of things. So I look at something like this, yeah, the lot's big, but do you buy a home, do you buy a semi-detached with a big lot? I mean, at this price, you can get a nicely renovated home in Dorset Park, or you can get some other options. It's one of those things where does the lot matter in a semi-detached home, and is this price, is someone going to pay for it at this price? It'll all become clearer as things go on, but I think it'll be a tough one. Semis with big lots are very, very, it's hard to get a lot of money for those lots versus detached. Yes, absolutely. So Swindale is 509. The home itself is, these ones are usually about sort of 1,900 square feet. Kitchen with the adjacent table, and then you've got your family room in the back as well. Pot lights, Pretty good layout, actually. I like the fact that you've actually got a window, you've got a pass through, you've got some connection between the kitchen and the family room, which you don't have in the one on Newell. And then you've got a front living dining, you've got a finished basement here, and there's a nice little area, just a walkout out of the eat-in area, where this is a good spot to have a little barbecue where you're not interfering with the rest of the backyard space, and a pretty decent sized yard too. So side-by-side parking, and it looks like it's been kept pretty well. 509 might be a little high, but the finished basement is certainly helping them. Semi-detached on Gowling, fascinating, because this one was like $499 a couple months ago. It's sold. I don't know why, because the home is probably 1600 square feet with a basement apartment, but it's 11 years old. Like, this is not a home that typically sells anywhere near $500,000, but they did, and now they're back out at $519, and something must have fallen apart. Probably not appraised, to be honest, and I bet you the deal fell apart because someone paid too much. But I don't know. This is kind of one of those mystery homes. It's never had pictures, and the price was high. And when I saw it was sold conditional, it kind of blew me away. And obviously something happened. Donnelly is at 529. And expect this one to get a lot of activity. It's on the north curve of Donnelly, so you're not dealing with any issues with James Snow or anything like that. It's around 2,100 square feet. You've got a pretty open concept floor plan, plus a finished basement. This one's going into competition. I really feel like it's priced at a point where people are going to jump all over it. So get ready for that one. It'll probably have a couple offers and sell pretty quick. Malboeuf is at $599. It's a Chester model, 2,400 square feet. They've done a lot of work in the kitchen here. The extended cabinets, we don't see that a lot. It's funny, I was looking through comparables because I've got a client who's got a home with the extended cabinets, and there was nothing. There was like literally in the last 6 months, there was nothing that had the cabinets right up to the ceiling in the 9 feet. The dining room I find a little bit small in this model. I'm not a huge fan of the way this one's set up, but they do tend to sell for pretty good money. We have seen this model sell in the range of the high fives before. I find the bedrooms are a little bit small, and there's some tricky things with how it's set up, but they're probably not that far off. I mean, we've seen junky ones sell over $550, so this one looks like it has some quality. Now, Valley View is another one that it just recently sold for not much less than what they're listed for, and so it's right on the corner of Laurier and Valley View, and you've got a nice looking pool. Something must have happened because these guys have not been in this home very long. There's not a lot of inside shots there, but obviously the value is there because somebody paid the price, and then they're not asking much more in probably better market conditions this year compared to last year. So Peregrine is at $749. 2839 square foot home backing onto a ravine. Granite counters. You've got some nice work done in the kitchen. You've got some nice finishes here. Designer. I mean, these guys definitely know how to get their home ready. And there's a shot in the backyard, a bit of landscaping done. You know, let's just say the ravine's worth. Let's just say it's even worth $50,000, which I don't think it's worth that much. I would say probably closer to 20 to 25, but put us down to $700,000. Is the home at 2839 square feet worth that? Even that seems a little bit high. So they're probably not fantastically priced. They're certainly not the great deal that I'd say jump all over it, but it's a good looking home. So if someone got enough money off the price where it made sense, I think it's a terrific looking place. In Peregrine, the location, everything is good here. And that's the list. So if you have any questions, give us a call, and we'd love to help keep you safe, and join us on a tour. Come meet me at Starbucks, and there's lots of ways to get a hold of us if you need our help. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.